This week, we test your knowledge of road trip trivia, plus how we deal with mice, and what's your criteria for checking off a state. This is RV Miles. RV Miles is sponsored by LL Bean, dedicated to helping you experience all the benefits of time outside and stay more comfortable while you're out there. From soft and breathable activewear designed to do it all to just right layers perfect for changing weather to sun-smart clothing that blocks the sun's harmful rays. Every LL Bean product is made with comfortable time outside in mind. Visit llbean.com to shop now. LL Bean, be an outsider.
Welcome to episode 205 of the RV Miles podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Abby, and we are two full-time travelers who have been on the road since 2016 with our three boys, crisscrossing North America. Each week on the podcast, we talk everything from RV and travel destinations to news, our national parks, and a whole lot more. And I just made that whole thing up because I could not remember what I had written. So it's going to have to do.
That works for me. I'm fine.
It'll just have to be what it is.
Do we think people care? I don't know.
I don't think anyone was trying to mouth the words along with me. No.
We are on a whirlwind tour here, traveling across the great state of Illinois. We are coming to you from our Airbnb that we're visiting Chicago at. And it's a lovely place because it reminds me of our old apartment so much. They're all
wonderful.
This shotgun style apartment where you've got the living room, then the dining room, and then the bedrooms and the kitchen, and they're all in order. And I love it.
It is almost the exact same layout as ours. And I was talking to a friend about this. Your front door walks into the dining room.
Yeah.
You have a bedroom off of the living room. Then you have two other bedrooms. Across from that is that one bathroom, which is right next to the kitchen.
Ours was just reverse of this floor plan.
Absolutely. And of course, you have the lovely Chicago squeaky hardwood floors. So when I got up this morning before everyone else, because I needed to go to the grocery store, it sounded like a tornado in this place. Everything was, it was so loud, but it's so charming. The big, thick doors, everything's heavy, everything's wood. It's so charming, and it's so wonderful to be here. And we are so thankful to our friends who are sharing their Airbnb with us. And if you find yourself coming to Chicago and you want to stay in a great apartment, I'm going to link to their Airbnb in our show notes, and you can check it out for yourself because it's so charming. It's so nice to be here.
That said, there's a little bit of an echo in here. So if you're hearing an echo, that's what it is. Because we don't know. This is why we often don't record inside in general.
Well, also, it's a Chicago apartment, and they're very echoey.
I wanted to start the show by giving a shout out to our friends, listeners, Harry and Donna, because I just thought this was so cool. They just hit the road from Laverne, Tennessee, and they flipped a coin to decide which direction to go, north to Michigan or west to the Grand Canyon. Coin landed on tails, and they headed west. And last I heard, they were in Oklahoma. I think that is so cool that you just flip a coin and decide where to go.
It's just the epitome of being a nomad. I mean, you have no plans. You just go and you kind of let the fates decide which way. And we've been there, but more like we didn't book a campground. And so now we're just going to have to let the fates decide as to what campground we're going to be staying at and exactly where that's going to be. So I hope they're having a really wonderful time. And that was really cool that they shared that with us in the group.
We have a couple questions. This one from Jessica in the Facebook group. Those of you with U.S. maps on the side of your trailer to fill in, do you put a state sticker up for a state you have traveled through or spent the night in? Just seeing how the majority of people do this. We get this question so often. What is your criteria for putting up that state sticker? We actually have a scratch-off map.
I love our scratch-off one, too. We keep it on the refrigerator. And we actually, as a family, have gone back and forth about this. And we finally landed on you have to spend at least one night in the state before you can scratch that state off.
I think your criteria and let's be honest, it's your criteria is a little bit more stringent than that, because there are a couple states that we have spent one night in that you will not allow us to scratch off.
But I guess my point being is that those were drive-throughs where we were just stopping in a rest area, or, we were doing wall docking or boom barreling or something. And there was no real sense of being there. We're just stopping for a few hours. We're sleeping and we're moving on.
Yeah.
Yes, we did overnight, but did we go to a campground? Or was that stop just to get us to the next point? And I feel like if it's just to get us to a next point, that doesn't feel fair to me. Like, it's not experiencing. That's why we can't check off Georgia.
Well, I'm just saying that we've spent an absurd amount of time in Missouri, but you won't let us check off Missouri.
No. Don't do that. Missouri has been scratched off.
Did we do it now?
Missouri
We
has
did it
been
Friday.
scratched off.
Okay.
Yes, because there's probably never, well, at that time, we thought we are never going to be camping in the state of Missouri.
Because we're always visiting your parents in
Right.
Missouri.
And now here we are looking at, once we get the Sabre, we're booking campgrounds near my parents because we're going to take the fifth wheel there. So we'll get to check it off regardless.
Bottom line is, come up with your own criteria, and it doesn't matter what other people do.
No, however you want to be as a traveler. And, what's interesting about this is some people feel very, very passionate about this.
Well, I guess there are
very strict
and there are
rules
a lot of,
on it.
There are a lot of things that come up. So, for instance, if you camp in New Jersey, just across the river in order to visit New York City, and you spend all your time in New York City, but you're camping in New Jersey, do you count New York?
No, you don't, because you're not
and
sleeping
I think
there.
you do, because you did an activity in New York.
Right, but the thing that you're traveling with did not get to go into that state. And New York is so much more than just New York City. That's not fair.
Then here's the flip side of that. Say you're driving through South Dakota. You don't stay the night, but you stop and you visit Mount Rushmore.
No.
Do you count South Dakota?
Not for me. I think you have to sleep.
There are a lot of questions.
Absolutely. So, you do you. I just think you have to sleep in the RV at a campground one night.
All right.
That's all.
One more question here. This comes from Roger. Mice, mouses, cheese rodents, vermin. Can we talk about them? How do you keep them out of your RV when it's parked? And we've talked a lot about this in the past, because we have had issues with mice in the past.
Yes.
That said, I just wanted to bring this up because I wanted to talk about Fresh Cab, because we've had people recommending Fresh Cab to us over the years, which is just a little packet that smells kind of Christmassy.
It smells like a spruce tree.
And
delightful.
You can pick it up at most hardware stores, and it's said to deter rodents. And we have been using that for, well, ever since we got this trailer, really, right?
Yeah. Well, we had one weekend when we were dry camping that we know we had a mouse.
Yes.
And after we left that campground, we were there for a couple days, and we left. We went and we bought all this, and we did not take the mouse with us, thankfully.
Yellowstone. That's where it was, right after Yellowstone.
Yes.
That's when we started.
Yes. And so it has been fantastic, and knock on wood that it continues to do the job, because it smells great. It's very overpowering though in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now if you decide to use it, we put it in locations where we can kind of contain and close off the smell. So under seats, or if you can get in under the tub, we had a tub, so we could get in underneath there, or
Which
under the
is where
sink.
the mice are anyway, right?
Yeah,
The places that they're going.
Absolutely. So you want to put those there, and then that's going to kind of tamper down that smell a little bit. But just know, for the first probably 24 to 48 hours, if you're really sensitive to Christmas tree smell, this might not be the product for you, or you might want to do it when you're not going to be in the rig. Like, this is a question, it's going to be parked. It's going to be there. Maybe they're going to have it parked for a while. This is a great option. I do think they suggest you change it every 30 days. I believe it's either 30 or 60 days.
Like that.
And it's easy to get. We picked it up, I think, at Menards and at Home Depot.
Obviously it's not scientific whether we haven't had
not
mice
at all.
because of that, but we haven't had mice in the time that we've been using it. We've been places where I would think we would be prone to possibly having a mouse come in.
Yeah, and some people swear by Irish Spring soap, and some people say, look at this mouse that just chewed this entire bar of soap. There are probably people out there that were like, look at my destroyed packet of fresh cab. So, give it a try if it works for you. Hopefully it will.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have some road trip trivia.
You almost said the answer to last week's brain teaser.
But that's not what we're going to have. We're going to have road trip trivia, and it's going to be fun.
Yes, I'm going to ask you the questions too.
All right, we'll see how that goes. We'll be right back. A summer cold on the road can really dampen the adventure, which is why Cold Fade is dedicated to preparing you for the unexpected and unwelcome common cold. Each Cold Fade pack includes 4 common over-the-counter medications from leading U.S. manufacturers, a travel case, Cold Fade's research-based strategy, and a mobile app designed to notify you of what medications to take and how and when to take them. Take the guesswork out of cold relief with Cold Fade. That's F-A-I-D. Visit coldfade.com, coldfaid.com. Find peace of mind today and be prepared for tomorrow with Cold Fade.
RV season is here, but the change of seasons also brings rain, mud, pollen, and other elements that you have to waste your time cleaning, or worse, that can end up damaging your vehicle. Whether you own a motorhome, a travel trailer, or a truck camper, EmpireCovers.com is here to help you protect all your vehicles against Mother Nature. EmpireCovers.com offers high-quality, affordable covers that are engineered to protect. Every cover comes with a free warranty to guarantee that it remains durable over time. If you're not in need of a full cover, Empire has just launched a line of RV rooftop covers that keep the roof of your RV clean and protect it from UV rays. RV Miles listeners can receive free shipping plus an extra 15% off their entire order. Visit EmpireCovers.com/RVMiles or use the promo code RVMiles at checkout.
We're back, and Abby is here prepared to deliver some road trip trivia questions.
Hard research has gone into
Abby
this.
likes
Hard research.
to put me under the gun with things like this. It's always fun for her.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've just done something fun and easy on the podcast. And so we thought it's time again for some trivia. Jason, these are going to be 9 questions that I pulled from Full Time Traveler's website, liveawilderlife.com. This is a full-time family that is blogging about their time out on the road, and they put 41 road trip trivia questions together. I did not think we needed to do all 41, so I did pull 9. Now, before we begin, where you think you're going to land on how many you're going to get right? Like, let's go ahead and lay this out. What is your confidence level?
We're doing 9?
We are doing 9, I believe.
Well, you picked them. This is the challenge.
Yeah,
you
what's the over-under on this for you?
I would, if they were picked at random, I'd say that I would probably get 7 of 9. But since you picked them, I'm a little concerned, and I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to get 5 of 9.
Okay, you're going 5. I think you are going to get 7.
Okay.
So we're going to see where this lands. Of course, play along with us. This is going to be, there's going to be 3 choices for each question, and then I'm going to give the answer with just, if I have it, a little tiny bit of info that goes along with that answer. All right. Here we go. Oh boy, aren't we all so excited?
Do I need a buzzer or something?
Oh, I wish we had like a Jeopardy. Oh, and can you phrase it in the form of a question? Fantastic. All right, here we go.
I'm buzzing to beat the other contestants.
Yeah. In 2003, fed up with the bad press, the stealing of signs, and the mysterious traffic accidents, transportation departments from Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico decided to rename what is now Highway 491. What was Highway 491's former name? Was it A, Highway 8675309?
I doubt that's the case.
B, Highway 666? Or Highway 3.141592653559?
Well, you just made it too easy.
I wanted to give you a freebie.
Okay, obviously it was Highway 666.
Yes, it was Highway 666, and in 2003 they couldn't take it anymore, and they changed it to Highway 491.
Why was there a Highway 666 in the first place?
Well,
Come on.
you know,
we don't have 13th floors and buildings. I mean,
I'd like to know what the mysterious traffic accidents that they are alluding to. I did not dive that deep. Okay, that's 1 point. Ding. Next one, number 2.
Can I update my estimate? Because if they're going to be like that,
No.
Okay.
You have to say with 5. I said 7. What state and interstate has the grim distinction of having the most fatalities in the U.S.? So you have to, I'm going to give you the suggestions. It's going to feature the state and the interstate. Is it Interstate 70 in Colorado, Interstate 30 in Dallas, Texas, or Interstate 4 in Florida?
wow. I mean, I could see I-70 because of the weather. I could see I-30 because of the speed and the Texas drivers.
And just know they didn't give random choices. They just gave the answer. So I've actually gone in and filled in with 2 more possible guesses.
I'm going to say I-70. I'm going with I-70.
You're going I-70 in Colorado.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Oh,
The most dangerous highway in the U.S. is Interstate 4. And I actually went and I looked this
Really?
up to make sure, which was found between the years of 2016 and 2019 to have 1.134 deaths per mile of highway. So this is a 132-mile stretch of interstate that runs between 2 Florida cities of Tampa and Daytona Beach and had a total of 150 traffic fatalities between 2016 and 2019.
there is a reason why insurance is higher in Florida.
And it even said that Orlando was found to be the deadliest city along I-4 with 11 fatalities during this time.
I've also heard that Orlando is considered to be one of the most depressed cities.
Yeah, and can I also? I don't know why it's it's home of the happiest place on earth,
the
but that's
people
probably
that live there are the people who
They're-
work customer service all day long.
They're not there for the happiest place on earth, which is gave me a little pause when I read this because we will be traveling from Tampa to Orlando in January.
Well, when people get really scared about mountainous drives, like. This is something to point out that
you're
it's
not
not
in Florida.
necessarily the mountain passes that are the scary drives.
Okay. All right, Mr. Epperson. So that's 1 and 1. Okay. So number 3, which state in the U.S. has the highest legal speed limit at 85 miles per hour? Is it Interstate 95 in Maine, the Turner Turnpike in Oklahoma, or Texas State Highway 130? Which of those 3 has the highest?
I thought somebody had a 90 mile per hour speed limit, like in Wyoming.
Now,
or something.
I looked this up, and I vetted this because I kind of thought the same thing too, and I could not find. I bounced around to a few different websites. I could not get that confirmed.
I'm going with Texas.
You are going with Texas, and that would be correct. Yeah. It is Texas State Highway 130. They supposedly hold the highest record, 85 miles per hour. I believe the Turner Turnpike in Oklahoma is 80, and then in Maine, it's 95 on Interstate 95. Or I'm sorry, 75 on Interstate 95. Okay, you're up 2-1. Here we go. Number 4. Which city in the U.S. was named as the #1 adventure city by National Geographic, the top mountain biking town by Bike Magazine, and the #1 town in the West by Outside Magazine? Is it 1, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 2, Boise, Idaho, or 3, Bozeman, Montana?
Bozeman.
You are wrong. It is Boise, Idaho. And you felt so confident.
Well, I've never been to Boise, Idaho. I've been to the other two.
I was shocked that it was
We'll have to
Boise.
check out Boise then.
We need to spend a little bit more time in Idaho, I think.
Yeah.
Although their state parks are a little expensive right now. So that might not be an option. Okay, so you are even now, 2 and 2. Number 5, which city in the U.S. has the most microbreweries per capita? I forgot that last little part. I was just excited by this question. Is it Seattle, Washington, Asheville, North Carolina, or Portland, Maine?
Ooh, per capita.
Yes. Is it Seattle, Asheville, or Portland?
I'm going to go Seattle.
Oh, that's the one I added. And no, it's not Seattle. It's actually Portland, Maine.
That was my second choice.
And Asheville comes in second.
Asheville is second.
Yes, which I feel like I really missed out on an opportunity when we were in Asheville.
We didn't go to the microbrewery.
No, we're going to have to go back. So, okay, you are now 2 and 3.
Okay.
So this is like, you're the Bears now in this whole thing. You're the Chicago Bears of this trivia. Okay, if you want to come out on top, you're gonna have to spice some things up. All right, here we go. Maybe get a new quarterback. All right. Number 6. The bald eagle is America's official animal, but since they aren't actually hairless, what does the bald part of the name mean, or where does it come from?
Well, I always assumed because their white head can look like they're bald from a distance or something.
You're really close on this one. So
right.
I'm not quite sure if you're right. I'm going to read. So bald.
Oh, I get multiple choice, right?
No, this one I did not give you multiple choice on. This one just is really one that you need to kind of understand the word bald and its meaning. So we'll go ahead and give it to you. Okay. You might make the playoffs as a wild card. So bald is an Old English word meaning white. Oh. The bird got its name for its signature white feathers.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And I thought, as someone from the Quad Cities, that's embarrassing that you don't know that.
Yeah. We get lots of bald eagles there.
Wow. You can't go home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's rough. All right. Here's another one. Number 7. McDonald's arches are always displayed in their signature golden French fry color, except in Sedona, Arizona. What color are the arches in Sedona? Are they fuchsia, violet, or turquoise?
Turquoise.
What was that?
I almost said teal. Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Same thing.
You are right. Sedona has a rule that prevents buildings and signage from clashing with the natural surroundings. They opted for the more aesthetically pleasing color of turquoise. All right, that has you up now, right? So is that 4-7? Number 8.
4-7.
I mean, I did math. 4-3.
4-3.
We're on number 7. Number 8. Which state is known as the Gem State? Is it Idaho, Arkansas, or California?
Arkansas.
You are wrong. Yeah, you really just a second to think about it. Just give it a second.
Well,
second.
I
We are traveling back to obviously the very eclectic state of Idaho.
I know they have that place where you dig for diamonds in Arkansas.
Yeah, so it's Idaho's nickname is the Gem State. Yeah, didn't know. All right, this is very exciting. You are tied 4-4. So here we go.
I told you I was going to get 5.
Well, that's confidence. So that will do you well because this is a very easy question. Number 9, the bonus. What was the first unofficial national park of the United States? Was it Yellowstone?
Hot Springs.
Not even going to let me finish, huh?
No.
Wow, look at you. Yes, you are correct. You never would have done that to Alex Trebek, though. Never.
Well, there's the time, and you got to get all the
look,
less time you waste, you get
congratulations, you got 5, exactly like you thought you would get. And so for those who didn't know, Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas became federally protected land in 1832 because there wasn't a national park system in place yet. It is unofficially the first national park, but it didn't become an official national park until 1921.
And the first official national park is Yellowstone.
Okay, now you're just being okay.
Well, I got a few wrong, so now I got to sound smart.
I'm just glad you came out on top with the national park.
All right, well, that was a whole lot of fun, and you can check out the rest of the questions in the blog article that we'll share in the show notes at rvmiles.com/205.
Be right back. Have you booked your next campground yet? These days, an available campsite can be harder to find than Bigfoot. RV Spot Drop is a new website that delivers canceled and unsold campsites right to your box. No more wasting hours calling campgrounds. Just tell RV Spot Drop your locations, dates, and amenities, and you'll get an email alert the moment a matching site is available. RV Spot Drop annual membership costs just $10, and RV Miles listeners can get 20% off by visiting rvspotdrop.com and entering code RV Miles, all one word. That's rvspotdrop.com, code RV Miles.
Electrical surge protection is one of the cheapest insurance policies you can provide for your RV, and the Power Watchdog Smart Surge Protector, made by Hughes Autoformers, beats the competition with field replaceable surge modules. With other brands, when the surge protector takes a large surge or a spike, you have to throw it away. The Power Watchdog can be brought back to life with one small, affordable part you can replace yourself. They'll even give you a free surge module in the first 2 years. And now they have a limited lifetime warranty. Use the coupon code RVMILES, all one word, for 10% off your order at HughesAutoformers.com. That's code RVMILES for 10% off at HughesAutoformers.com.
All right, it's time to check the levels of our tanks. Abby, what is in your black tank this week?
This one is going to cut me to the core because I am not only black tanking pizza, I am black tanking Lou Malnati's.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was rough. So Friday night, we were at a hotel because we were in town for your brother and our sister-in-law's wedding reception. They got married a year ago, but we're finally getting to have the wedding reception. Yeah. Well, you are out with all the dudes playing paintball, getting really beat up in paintball. Yeah,
hey, I did okay.
Okay, I saw everybody else and I saw you, and somebody really unloaded on you. It did not look comfortable. So I'm in the hotel with the kids and we decided we want to order pizza. So we order Lou Malnati's. It was only about a mile and a half from the hotel.
Famous Chicago style pizza.
Famous Chicago style pizza. Here we are 25 miles outside the city. We're getting some Chicago pizza. So I order the kids the standard thin crust cheese pepperoni, but I ordered myself a personal Chicago style veggie. I was so excited for it. It seemed like a very normal wait time. It told us of about 40 to 45 minutes, maybe closer to an hour. That's really normal. So the pizza gets there. It takes an hour. The pizza gets there. I go downstairs to get it. And the minute the guy hands me the box, my heart just kind of sinks. And I know this is not going to be good because the box is lukewarm. Mm-hmm. And I take it upstairs and, you know, I open it and I'm trying to keep a good face because I need these kids to eat because this is dinner. Like there's nowhere else to go get food. And the pizza, I bet, and I believe that probably at one time it was a really, really delicious pizza, but it was cooked and then it was just sitting in its box waiting for the delivery person. And so while it's sat in the box, and I mean, I'm not talking just a little bit in the box, like, you know, when you put something in a cardboard container and it steams it and that cardboard starts to get to the point where it's almost disintegrating.
Lou's has that buttery crisp crust
yes.
too.
And there was no crisp to that.
Disintegrating along with the cardboard.
There was no crisp to that. The thin crust fared a little bit better. When I went to go eat that Chicago style veggie, it just disintegrated in my hands. Wow. The whole thing, because, you know, those are really wet. You know, that sauce is really wet. So it's sort of like, and we've ordered these delivery before. So this is not our first time and this is not typical. We have had delivery Chicago style pizza and it has been on point. This had clearly set for a very, very, very long time. And it was so disappointing. And why I'm black tanking it is A, for that, but B, that was expensive. Yeah. And then to get that was just, it was so disappointing. Nobody ate. I think dinner ended up really just being Cheez-Its and some Z-bars.
Well, I had a really good pizza.
I don't want to talk about no, you didn't have pizza. You had gnocchi.
Well, yeah, but I ate off of someone else's pizza too. We had like a few pizzas.
God, you didn't even bring any leftovers.
What is in your fresh tank?
So my fresh tank, though, goes to Chicago because we're here. And I am so happy to be home. But it's more about when we were driving in, that we saw the skyline and then here comes the CTA and everything starts feeling familiar. And it's been 2.5 years since we've been here. And my heart just melted. My heart melted for my city that I love so much. And that is just, it does not matter how you come into Chicago. It does not matter if you are on 290, 55, 9094, flying in on your boat out in the lake. There is nothing like a Chicago skyline.
That's true.
It is just spectacular. And then to just be here and, I to walk around this morning and to walk around Logan Square and just be in the city again. And we saw some friends last night and people who know us and who know the different versions of us we've been over the last 20 years. I mean, God, it's so good to be home. So Chicago, I love you. You get my fresh tank this week. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to me the rest of this week. Even if you give me bad pizza, I'm still going to love you.
What if they charge you $4 to enter a parking lot to drop someone off to pick up a rental car? And you're in that parking lot for about 30 seconds, but you still have to pay $4 to get out
Well,
of it.
that feels on brand for Chicago, so it doesn't bother me. But I would also say to that person who's throwing some shade that way is that someone else in that truck said, why don't you drop me off over there and I'll just walk in? And you were very adamant.
Let's moving along.
Oh, see, now I'm just saying, you were very adamant. And so the lady was not going to have it when you tried to walk that $4 back.
Followed the signs.
I'm just saying, the lady, she was not today. She was like, not today. You are not the first guy to try and be like, I've only been here for 3 minutes. Do I have to pay? She's like, yeah, you got to pay. Give me that $4. Anyway, what is in your black tank?
So we talked about the fact that I went paintball with my brothers and members of the wedding party and stuff.
That's what this means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
now I see where this is going.
So I did. I got shot up a little bit, and I got some welts on my body. And we're swimming in the hotel pool, and it's mostly family. It's a small pool. There's not a lot of people in there.
Well, they had a limit on it, and we were at the limit. I think it was 10 people could be in there.
But there was one woman in there with her daughter who was not related to any of us. And when I took my shirt off and got in, she got her daughter out real quick. And then she goes over and takes a picture of the sign on the wall that says don't swim with ringworm and lesions and stuff. And I think she thought that I was covered in ringworm because I have these circular welts on my
She's like, that man has the plague.
It's not that much of a black tank. She didn't do anything to me or anything. I actually feel bad
Yes.
for the little girl that couldn't swim anymore.
I'm very surprised. I kept waiting for hotel management to come in there and be like, sir, can we speak to you for a minute? Because I think, your brother was there and then his half brother was there. And I think they had a couple, because you guys had all gone. So you all had a couple of little spots. I mean, your side, somebody you said caught you and unloaded, like you were in a bus or something and someone came in and just unloaded on you. Yeah. So you definitely were really noticeable. But that woman must have just been like, OMG, these people.
They're diseased people.
We finally can come back to the hotels and this is what I get. So I can't imagine that she's listening. But if she ever runs across this, it was just from paintball, and y'all were totally safe. We promised we'd never do something like that. Okay, what is in your fresh tank this week?
This is a great post in the RV Miles Facebook group from Julie and Marty. They shared a challenge with people, and you don't have to be a member of the RV Miles Facebook group to do this. You can do this from anywhere, but we know that there's been issues recently with public lands and campsites being dirty and messy and not left in the greatest condition. So they posted a challenge that you should go to a campsite, take a picture of the condition it's in, and take a picture of the condition that you leave it in. And the idea being that you leave it better than you found it. You pick it up, you make it a better place instead of just leaving the stuff that somebody else has left behind. And I thought that was just so fantastic. And I think we can do that wherever we are on social media, or don't even need to share it. Just do it.
No, and I love how proactive that is. Rather
Yes.
than being reactive and negative to the situation, you're being proactive and trying to do something positive so that we can all continue to enjoy our public lands. So thank you so much to them for taking the time out to go and do that and care for these very special places.
All right, it's time to finish up the show with a tip of the week again from the RV community. And last week it was in there, but then we went and cut it back out because there was some weird thing that happened where our buddy Josh, the RV nerd over at Halet RV Center, his clip was like echoing itself.
Yeah, you were not happy that had happened, and we just couldn't salvage it, so we had to cut it out. But we think it's such a great tip and we wanted to do Josh justice, so we are putting it back in this week.
So here again is Josh, the RV nerd from the Halet RV Center YouTube channel, which is a fantastic YouTube channel, the RV industry from a dealer's perspective. It's great, but the quick tip for getting water spots off your shower door in your RV.
Mr. William Kramer reached out and said, I like the clear shower doors like we have on this Cougar right here, but mine shows a lot of water spots. And one day it occurred to me, I could just hit it with a RainX treatment, and that'll cause the water to bead off, and I have almost no rain spots left on, or water spots as it were, left on my shower doors now. It's simple, it's brilliant, it's inexpensive, and anybody can do it right in your own backyard. You don't need to bring it into a service center.
All right, that's it for this week's episode of the RV Miles podcast.
Yes, it is. And like we ask every single week, if you are enjoying the show, would you please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave RV Miles a 5-star review? We are getting closer and closer to closing in on 1,000 reviews. So thank you all so very much for going over there and doing that and helping RV Miles reach a whole new audience. It's incredible to us, the amount of people that are joining us every single week. This is phenomenal. RV Miles, of course, is all across social media, but if you'd really like to chat with Jason and I, the very best place to do that is in the RV Miles Facebook group. It's a delightful group of over 10,000 people, and we do try to keep a really positive atmosphere in there. And of course, there's great questions that we often feature here on the podcast. That's just kind of the environment that's going on over there. Other than that, we hope you have a fantastic week. We are going to continue to enjoy Sweet Home Chicago, but please stay safe, be well, and keep logging those RV miles.
Bye, everybody.